Good morning, friends. From my very unfinished, somewhat disastrous kitchen, Tara and I moved into this apartment in Denver about a month ago now. It is roughly 475 square feet. We'll call it 500 to make ourselves feel better. And this kitchen is the tiniest part of it, which has made existing in this space kind of difficult. Now, because this is an apartment, I've signed a 1-year lease, but the jury's still out on how long we'll actually be here. I don't want to do anything that is too expensive, too damaging to the walls. Like, everything needs to be somewhat temporary or at least patchable, like little holes here and there. And I also want to finish this week if possible because I'm pretty tired of living in a space that doesn't feel conducive to healthy eating and living. Since moving in about a month ago, I have purchased some staple household appliances, 2 of which you've already seen this morning from Buydeem, which we'll get into in a moment. But that's something else that I want to keep in mind with these projects, is to work around what I already have. I don't want to create a space that's not going to be conducive to easy use of the things that I already own and love, which might require me to purchase more things in the future or redesign really soon after. And since I already own most of the things that I think that I need to live here healthily and happily, I'm going to build with those things in mind and nothing else. So I'm hoping that that can keep the cost down, the time down, and also just make this a more enjoyable process because I'll be getting to incorporate things that I love into my space and not the other way around. Before I get into the redesign though, I do want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, Buydeem. This morning and most mornings, I've been really enjoying using their new stainless steel toaster and steaming kettle, which I'll explain how that works in a moment, but they truly have been really wonderful additions to my kitchen and to my life overall since getting off the road, since both of these things are not luxuries that I've been able to enjoy in the past. Now, if you've never heard of a steaming kettle before, don't worry, you're not alone. I was in that boat as well. But since switching to the K176 brew extractor, which steams your coffee or tea as opposed to boiling it and burning it, leaving you with a bitter taste, this stainless steel kettle from Buydeem preserves all the essence and flavor of your beans or your grounds or your tea leaves without burning them. Now, depending on your flavor preferences, there are also 5 different levels that you're able to brew at. This morning, I did a regular or medium because I'm not a blonde or extra dark coffee lover, but if you are, you can tailor that to your desires and preferences. And for all the tea lovers out there, the tea water separation really helps keep things from getting bitter as your leaves aren't soaking in water, but rather they're being steamed and that flavor essence is being extracted down into the pot. Now, I'm not sure about you guys, but lately I've really been trying to eat with or before my coffee. You know, all those cortisol hormone level things that we've been seeing lately, which is where the Buydeem toaster comes in. Their retro model, might I add, which fits in really nicely with the other stainless steel appliances in my kitchen and makes a mean Ezekiel toasted bagel or English muffin. Now, I've been really into the English muffins lately, but whether you're a bagel, a brioche, or a regular toast lover, this toaster's 1.4-inch wide slots will fit all of it with ease. One of my favorite parts about this retro toaster though is the space-saving mechanisms that are incorporated into the toaster. Not only is it quite narrow compared to the width of those slots, but there's also a cord saver on the bottom, which in kitchens like mine with extremely tiny countertops is a game changer. In addition to the technical aspects of these products, I also really appreciate that Buydeem prioritizes 100% in-house R&D and design, making sure that the highest quality products are coming to our homes to not only fit an aesthetic and a function, but to bring some enjoyment back to the kitchen again. So whether you've just moved into a new apartment like me, or you're looking to replace appliances that might be on their way out with high quality appliances like the ones mentioned, you can head to the links in my description down below to view the steamer and toaster amongst many other high quality appliances from Buydeem to start enjoying your time again in the kitchen today. And thank you again to Buydeem for sponsoring today's video. Alright, so we are changed and ready to start for the day, but before I do, I just want to take a quick tour of the kitchen to show you what it looks like now versus what it's hopefully going to look like after. Starting off in this corner, obviously there's a lot of storage happening right now. We have some wood that I'm hoping to use, spare butcher block from this build a couple weeks ago, this table in the corner that I actually need to either refinish or sell or both, a chair that is eventually going to be used in this nook space, some dead flowers that definitely need to be thrown away, my old bones from Baja, and this entire shelving unit in the corner, which for right now is just housing a bunch of kind of miscellaneous cooking things. More wood, unsurprisingly, under there. Some floor tiles, which are hopefully gonna replace these ugly cracked and peeling ones. In the kitchen, we're gonna ignore the fact that there's dishes there, but it's really basic. Not a whole lot going on here. I did, like I said, create this butcher block space, which I've really been loving using. Got a plant, we've got some just basic household things. A lot of these appliances obviously are not gonna change because they're in the apartment permanently. Same with all of these guys. I actually really love this glass and how open this is, but I think there's definitely something that I can do about the organization within the cabinets. I feel like the hardest part of anything like this, building, organizing, is just picking a place to get started. I think because it's been so long since I've done it, I'm just gonna go through everything once, clean things up, and organize a little bit so that way I actually can see and work in the space that we're dealing with. All right, so it says to start in the center, which makes sense because I don't have to cut anything that I don't need to. So I'm gonna just start right here in the middle and then just spiral out, I guess, and hope that I don't regret this. So to explain what I'm doing a little bit better, I have two different 2x4s that are pretty dramatically different lengths. The reason why I'm going to be using these is because it's wood that I already have and I don't want to be spending a ton of money. That said, something that I'm not quite sure how to do, it's going to sound very silly, I have researched it online, but if you know, please let me know in the comments down below so that way I can do this right from now on. But I have this stud finder and you would think, wall, stud finder, easy, what's so hard about that? But I have a feeling that this actually is not doing what it's supposed to because of the plaster walls. I know there is wood in there, but I don't know that there's studs in the traditional sense. So I'm gonna try this, and all of this that I'm saying is based on drilling some holes in my bathroom, and I had a similar issue where it was finding studs randomly, and then I'd go back to try to find it again, and it would be gone. So I'm gonna do my best with this. We're gonna see if it works, but yeah, leave a comment down below if you guys know anything about plaster and how to actually use one of these on plaster walls. That's what we're gonna aim for here, I think. And let's see how long this piece of wood is. We do something like this, because I need to miss that area over there. This is what I need. I think we're just gonna have to go for it. Maybe not ideal, but do something like this. Something like this, hopefully. I am reusing these 2-inch long screws. Why 2-inch? Well, because honestly, I don't really trust this scanner, and I'm a little bit nervous that if I don't, it won't be strong enough. That said, the only things going up here are going to be lightweight. Soap, a book, very small, simple things, so I'm not too concerned about it, but just want to be safe than sorry. I feel like this area here could be nice to have a couple little like hooks for towels maybe, because right now a towel is just hanging here. So I think when I go to the store, I might pick up a couple little hooks to put here so I can hang things like a towel or I don't know, just like small bits and bobs, because these two pieces were different lengths. We're gonna make it look intentional. Good morning from my new little corner nook, which you guys actually have not seen yet, but that I very quickly set up last night after getting back home with a migraine, which is why I waited until today to finish recording and hopefully wrap up some of the design components of this room. I think the last few things I need to do are add some under cabinet lighting because I really hate the overhead light at night here. I want to organize things, I guess, more over time. That's not gonna happen today. I got some full-length curtains for like $12 at World Market, which I'm really excited about, in a nice rusty orange color. So I'm gonna use those here to just help liven up this space, which is currently just me, a plant, and a desk. And I think just a couple other little organizational tweaks. Obviously, this is gonna fill out over time. If I get posters I can put on the wall or make some homemade art, that would be awesome. But for now, I'm feeling really good about where we're at and really good about finishing here soon. So let's get started. All right, well, after 2 full days and a lot of Facebook Marketplace purchases, some new plants, and some adjusted mood lighting and drapery, I think that I'm done with the kitchen. And obviously there might be things that I want to add to it as I settle in more here, but truthfully, this is more than I need. It feels more like a home as opposed to a blank canvas now, which is so comforting coming from the last couple of houses I've lived in, or homes that I've lived in, which have not had much art, personality, or character other than my belongings. Something I want to note, because I'm sure that it's going to come up, I've mentioned a couple of times now over the past few weeks that there's a possibility that I could be getting back on the road one day. And a question that's already come up a couple of times is, what am I going to do with my belongings? Things like plants and drapery and this lovely metal rack that obviously could not come in a rig with me. And the answer is multifold. One, unfortunately, if I get back on the road, I will likely have to gift my plants or sell my plants to somebody else who can take care of them, because a money tree and a palm is not coming with me on the road again. Things like this desk that I got for $15 on Facebook Marketplace, it's solid oak. I'm probably gonna get a storage unit. And a lot of these pieces, like this chair, the butcher block, are all things that I purchased very intentionally because I knew whether I ended up in a rig and used the butcher block for a counter, I ended up in a different home one day or purchasing or building my own, that this chair could come with me, as well as the appliances. In the past, when I was a little bit younger, early 20s, just getting into a van for the first time, I did not see myself settling down permanently anytime soon. And that is kind of still the feeling, but with a little bit more intention. The things that I'm buying now in my late 20s, not that I will keep them forever, although I would hope so, but I know that I can keep them for a long time. They can come with me to my first home permanently, wherever and whenever that is in the future. So I'm not opposed to getting a storage unit for some of these pieces that definitely have a lot of life left in them and will long after I use them. And everything else will be resold, which is part of the reason why I've done this on such a budget, and mostly, if not almost entirely, secondhand, with the exception of certain things like a plant, the storage rack that I couldn't find secondhand. Overall, I'm so happy with the increased functionality of this space. Even yesterday, before I finished this morning, I was already noticing how much easier it is to cook and exist in my kitchen, to access things, to grab things while I'm making food, and that honestly is all that I could have asked for. All of that said, I hope that you all enjoyed this week's video. I know that I mentioned in the past that I would not be doing a lot more apartment style videos, but this just seemed like too fun of an opportunity to pass up, and I wanted to make sure to get something out this week for all of you to see. So consider this your apartment update. I probably won't be doing much more in here, but if you want to see more apartment decor videos or just apartment living videos, let me know in the comments down below. I feel like it's such a mixed bag. I'm never quite sure what you guys might be interested in. So let me know. I hope you guys are having a great week. We will see you all in the next one with a very important, exciting update that came out of the blue last week and I am now scrambling for. I think that's enough for now. I'll see you guys in the next one.